They're all school kids going on strike against climate change. It's good. At least some people, at least somebody started thinking on this cause. But I want you to know some facts. I would like to request you to know some facts. Although that South Asia has the highest population, almost half of the population of the whole world lives in South Asia. But you should know that you Western people, and especially the teenagers, are the largest consumer of meat product, resulting 18% of the world greenhouse emissions, among which 37% of human caused methane emissions and about 65% of human nitrous oxide emissions. Junk food and fast food are part of your life. As you might know that you are the first generation who has required all air conditioning in every classroom and every rooms in your house. You want television in every room of your house. All your classrooms and living rooms are computerized. You spend all the day and night on electronic device more than ever. You don't even walk or ride bicycles to go to school, but you arrive in bus or caravans and private cars. You never ever even walk or ride bicycles to the school. You are the biggest consumer of manufactured good ever and update perfectly good expensive luxury items to stay trendy. Your entertainment, it comes from electronics device, electric device, digital device. Your games and sports are virtuals. Your source of entertainment, your source of excursion are virtual nowadays. You know nothing, or you know very less about outdoor games or recreation like hiking, rafting, jungle safaris, canoeing, etc. You know nothing about these things. You just live in virtual world. We know in our childhood, our parents used to call us, come inside home and read, because we were always busy with playing footballs or running in jungles, playing all around in jungles, swimming, going to rivers, many like these things. But nowadays, your parents are busy chasing you out of home. You are so much busy with your all electronic device. And all this, your way of comfort and luxury life contributes almost 64% of greenhouse emissions, which is very high compared to anything else hampering the environment directly or indirectly. Major problem with you is your educational system, in which you taught to become ambitious, on certificate taught you to become self-centered, robotic, and completely you are materialized. This educational system you are going through materialized you. You never learned about soul, nature, consciousness, morality, spirituality. Even most of you might not know even these terms even. What is soul, what is nature, what does consciousness, morality, spirituality means. Almost many of kids, you don't know even these terms already. Eating, sleeping in comfort zone, uncontrolled sex life, and defending yourself are only aim for your life. You are just after good food, good sleep, in comfort zone, uncontrolled sex life, and defending yourself. That's only you know as your aim in your life. Today's educational system taught you nothing more than this. There is no any higher principle, no any cause to live than these four animalistic way of life. These four things, eating, sleeping, sex, and defending, are common in human being and in animals. So all of you almost are busy with this animalistic way of life. Actually, you know nothing about the cause you were in strike for, because even for the strike you came in cars, were busy with your electronic device during protest, and were consuming packaged junk food. You knew actually nothing even about the strike you were doing, why you were in that strike. You were just hearing some little girl, you just felt like we should go, that's all you know. Furthermore, the people and cooperations driving and funding your protest are people who insist on artificially and genetically modified foods. They produce and market arms and artilleries promote meat and junk food industry and the fossil fuel industry who wants the public like you to discuss the insignificant issues like plastic straw, light bulbs, and cheeseburgers so they can continue to get away with producing the most of the emissions blamed from the climate change. Because we can see that almost the institutions, the foundations and the trust, those who are driving, those who are funding for for this protest are the people, those who insist on artificially and genetically modifying the foods. It's against the law of nature. They produce and market arms and artilleries. They promote meat and junk food industry. Even then, we have seen that some of the industries who are driving your protest, who are funding your cost, they are fossil fuel industries, and they want you to discuss issues like plastic straw, light bulbs, and cheeseburgers. So they can continue to get away with producing most of the emissions blamed for climate change. I know most of you, after hearing a goal about climate change, got angry and got sentimental as an immediate reaction, like we heard something and we feel it's not good, we immediately start giving reactions. So as an immediate reaction, lots of people are angry and are sad. But anger without doing something other than protesting and making speech won't protect the environment or do much else other than produce more anger and sadism, which can result frustration and depression even. Obviously, I don't feel you want to be cause of frustration, sadism and depression for general mass. You should do something. At least you can start becoming vegetarian, because 18% of greenhouse gas emissions is because of meat eaters like you. At least you can start riding bicycles and walking instead of driving buses, cars and caravans. Because speaking, giving speech and doing protest without doing nothing, it gives nothing. Instead of protesting and giving speech only, you should try telling your teachers and parents to switch off AC, walk or ride to school, switch off your device and read books. Instead of going deep in virtual world, go deep in self-discovery. Instead of just thinking about good luxurious sleep, eating, sex and defending yourself, start discovering about soul, start discovering about self-realization. Start knowing much more about spirituality, self and nature. Learn the truth, that true source of entertainment and recreation can be found in nature. Make pie, rice, bread and sandwich instead of buying manufactured fast food like chips and this and that. I'm not trying to teach you what to eat and how to eat, but it would indeed be beneficial for both climate and our human health if you start consuming plant-based food. As we know, eating habits really can bring real peace and happiness in the world, because the source of food which you are consuming nowadays itself is not peaceful source. You are eating, you are consuming terror, milk and blood, like capture, torture, because source of meat is these things. So if you eat plant-based food, then even food would be a cause to bring happiness in you personally and in this world, in this environment. Plant trees instead of doing protest, as in Vedic system. Vedic scriptures ask us to plant at least 2 trees in lifetime, one for living while we live here for taking breath for oxygen, and one for living when we die for the last funeral. Vedic scriptures, they says at least a person should plant 2 trees instead of protesting in front of your schools. You at least plant 2 trees, because planting trees is, as Vedic scripture says, at least a person should plant 2 trees in his life. one for his funeral, for dying, and one is for living to breathe. So just doing protest doesn't help you. Boycott the die-hard capitalist and materialistic curriculum which you are teaching, which curriculum is teaching you to become self-centered, which curriculum is making you robotic, which curriculum is actually bringing all this social, emotional, physical, mental, all type of problem. Just boycott this die-hard capitalist and materialist curriculum. Ask teacher and parents to teach values but not price. Go for village life. Focus on agriculture and spiritually influenced life. Go for simple living and high thinking instead of doing this protest. But the problem with you is none of this will happen because you people are taught to be selfish. You are badly educated. You are self-centered, so-called mathless lads inspired by adults around you who carve a feeling of having a noble cause in your heart while they themselves are indulged in Western luxury and unpredicted supremacy of a materialistic life. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Grow up and learn to research fact and think for all and not to blindly accept the words and thoughts of some conditioned, egoistic, egocentric individual entity with concealed political and corporate interests. Think of us. Think of South Asian people. Especially think of South Asian kids who have very less, or we can say almost non-material obsessions and luxury like you. They don't have that material luxury. They don't have material obsessions like you, who are not indulged in luxury and unprecedented facility on their life, but are being affected equally like you because of this climate change, because of this climate issue. They have very less contribution in climate change, but are being affected as much as you because they don't have their, actually they are being affected much more than you because they don't have air filtration system in their schools and homes. They don't have enough hospital and qualified medic manpower, qualified doctors to treat them on time if they got any illness due to this adverse environmental condition. So you should not be self-centric. Don't be blind. You should look around, think and act wisely. It's not only your problem. It's problem for all of us. It's problem for them, those who have very less contribution for climate change and are being more affected than you. This is problem created by all of us and we should fight together. But fighting doesn't mean making speech, crying while giving speech and doing protest in front of schools. Fighting together means planting trees. Fighting together means eating plant-based food. Fighting together means stop using uncontrolled and uncontrolled way of using these electronic devices. Fighting together means planting trees together. Fighting together means eating plant-based food together. Fighting together means finding entertainment, finding excursion and recreation in nature, finding entertainment in nature, finding peace in nature. Fighting together means going deep in spiritual life. Fighting together means going for village life. Fighting together means going for simple living